get Isaiah 34.
Thirty-four.
34.
Yeah. Isaiah 34:1. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein in the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations.
Yeah, the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. All right, the righteous anger. So that shows why America is going to be destroyed, because and that's why the Lord is going to come with such a high level with chariots all across, all across the globe. Everybody's going to know about the destruction of America and the change of power at the end of the day, because he's angry with all nations. All right, but Edom is the first one in line. All right.
For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood.
Yep, the mountain is basically the government, the country. All right, it's going to be melted with their blood. All right, go ahead.
And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree.
Yeah, the heaven's not talking about the spiritual world, it's talking about this place here. All right, because this place is considered a heaven. All right, outer space is considered heaven, and the spiritual world is considered a heaven. All right, so this place, America, the land, the place that mankind dwells in, that place is going to be rolled up as a scroll. All right, go ahead.
For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea.
Idumea, that's the land of the Edomites. All right, Idumea is the land of the Edomites. What verse is that?
5.
Idumea, is it 5 or 6? Okay, yeah, it is. What I have here, because I looked it up, Idumea, the precept I have is just say Edom, plain out. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's the Greek way to say Edom too. And upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood.
All right, back that up, because it slid who up in there? Israel. All right, because our people are not exempt from this either. All right, go ahead.
The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of the lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams.
Did you back up?
Oh, you want me to read it over?
Yeah.
Okay, select it. Isaiah 34:5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment.
Yep, upon the people of his curse to judgment. All right, give me Jeremiah 30:11. It shall come upon his people curse to judgment, because there's people amongst Israel that are going to be in America that's going to be destroyed. There's going to be people all across the world that are Israelites that are fit to be destroyed. So all this Israelites coming together, there's Israelites that fall under the curse of Esau, to eat the missiles, to get the famine, to take the mark of the beast. All right, all that's a destruction really tailored for Edomites, but it fits all the wicked too, of the other nations and of our nation. All right, go ahead.
Jeremiah 30:11. For I am with thee, saith the Lord, to save thee.
Yeah, that's talking about Israel, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, go ahead.
Though I make a full end of all nations, whether I had scattered thee, yet will I not make a full end of thee.
Yep, yet will he not make a full end of us. Go ahead.
But I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished.
But will not leave us altogether unpunished. All right, we get corrected in measure. That's why we're in the position we're in right now, because this is a measure of our correction. All right, that's why it says, I forgot what one of the prophets like, hey man, you know, I believe it's Ezra, it's like, you know, in chapter 3, it's like the rich, you know, you got these other nations doing what they want to do, you know, and they're still prospering. Now sometimes I don't feel like I'm an Israelite, you know, or we the chosen, you know, and he was pleading. So basically, that's because we're getting corrected and measured. And I believe it says in Romans that he chastised his son. You know what I'm saying? He chastised his children. All right? And if you're not chastised, then ye what? You're bastards. Okay? You're not his children. So Esau, you know that he's not a child of the Most High because he hasn't got chastised for nothing he done since slavery, since the genocide of the Native Americans, the Latinos and Native Americans, and the Negroes. All right? So how you can, you know, you receive forgiveness if you haven't been chastened? All right? Go ahead.
You want more than that? No, I mean, that was it.
That's it. That's all I wanted.
All right. I'm going to read this one over here. Isaiah 34:5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams, for the Lord had they sacrifice in Basra.
Yeah, that's basically what's gonna that's the not judgment, that's the justice. That's what's gonna calm the Lord back down. All right, is the death of the Idumeans, the Edomites, the death of America. All right, that when the Lord says he's wroth and he's angry, you know what I'm saying? He's angry with the nations. All right, because he said that in Deuteronomy when he put that out in Deuteronomy, and he said he's angry with our people for what? Doing wickedness. So what's going to calm him down? All right, what's going to calm him down is the destruction of America and the destruction of the wicked. Period. That's going to calm him down. All right, and that's why America's going to be destroyed, because it is the land of wickedness. All right, give me that Micah, chapter 1.
Malachi?
Yeah, Malachi.
Malachi chapter 1 verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord, yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness.
Yep.
Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, and we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness.
They shall call them the border of wickedness. All right. Wherever Esau set his things up, that's the border of wickedness. That's the land of wickedness. All right, because they're the wicked, and you know a tree by its fruit. All right, so that tree or a mountain, whatever you want to call it, you know, forest, seas, whoever started it, as far as a nation, a people on his land, that's going to reflect that nation. So when Esau, you got basically everyday Joe Smoke Edomites talking about I ain't got nothing to do with it. You do, all right, because your leaders do. All right, our leaders, if our leaders go off, that represents us. Okay, if you got a bunch of leaders in the Senate or whatever, in diplomacy, them leaders represents the nation of Israel. All right, just like if you catch Vladimir Putin, if he out here wilding out and doing all these kind of things, you know, he get caught with a little 12-year-old boy or something, you know, they're gonna be like, that's what they do in Russia. You know, Vladimir Putin's wilding out, but they're gonna look at Russia too. All right, just like with us. All right, you can have one person that mess up among GMS, and they act like the whole GMS is like that. You know what I'm saying? They act like the whole GMS is like that. So that shows. So you can't, you know, be biased toward that type of mindset. It works like that. Just like you had that Edomite that Jake that listened to brothers in the truth, and he went out and killed that little kid, right? Not like all the prophets are like that. But when it comes to your judgment, I'm not like that in particular. All right? That shows the biasness toward righteous judgment. You have to be balanced. Okay? Go ahead.
And the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
All right, back up a little bit.
It says, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Yeah, you Edomites, all you Edomites are wicked because your leaders are wicked. All right, you're wicked at the end of the day, but your leaders really, they're in a position that they're in the spotlight. So basically, we can see their wickedness and it reflects on you. Okay, now let's go back to Isaiah.
Isaiah 34:6. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood, is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams from the Lord, Salakia. For the Lord hath a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness.
Let's say their land. All right, ain't talking about why their land gonna be soaked with blood, because it's gonna be their blood on that land. All right, go ahead.
For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance.
It is the day of the Lord's vengeance. That's what when it said the Lord of hosts, the Lord is coming back for salvation. The Lord is also coming back for vengeance. It's the day. All right, when you read about the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night, or the day of the Lord shall be salvation, you know they're talking about the last days. So common sense should tell you the day of the Lord is vengeance. That's talking about the last days too. All right, go ahead.
And the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion.
Yup. Somebody can look up that word controversy. All right, read that again while we wait on it.
Isaiah 34:8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion.
All right, the day of the Lord's vengeance and the recompense. All right, basically, the payback for the controversy of Zion. One of y'all got it yet? All right, let's go. Let's get it.
The Hebrew word for controversy is rayab. Rayab, which means strife, controversy, dispute, strife, quarrel, despite, controversy, case of law, strife, contention.
Yep. So, because guess what? We've been fighting with Esau from the womb. All right? And the fight we got going on, they have a quarrel with us. And you act like racism isn't alive. Racism is alive and full effect, because that's the reason why the Lord's going to destroy this place. Now, if racism was dead, the Lord wouldn't have to destroy this place. The Lord wouldn't even destroy Edom, because that's the fact they don't have a controversy with us. So why is the Lord still going to destroy Edom? Because he still has a controversy against us. He still has a strife. He still has a quarrel. All right? He still has a problem with us. All right? Go ahead. Okay.
Isaiah 34:9. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch.
Look, brimstone. Remember, fire and brimstone? That's not talking about hell. That's talking about Esau. Esau's kingdom gonna be destroyed. Brimstone is basically, rock. But basically, this place is gonna be laid down into rubble. Okay? Go ahead.
I'm gonna look at that word picture. Verse 10, it shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever.
Yep, that's that. Now, if you remember, the elders saying that it's going to be, America's going to be ablaze for a long, long time. All right, that's just like a burning house where you'll put it out, it'll still be on fire. All right, but America, on top of that, is not going to be put out. So after it get nuked sky high and it be a lake that turn into that lake of fire, that fire is going to burn for a long time. All right, it's going to burn for a long time, just like with a nuclear bomb. When it lands, you know, that's not the end of it. You gotta wait. You gotta the dust in the clouds. All right, it creates that darkness and all kind of effects of that place, man. All right, go ahead.
From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever.
Yeah, none shall pass through it forever and ever. Because then it said, Babylon shall be destroyed and shall never be inhabited again. That's talking about the land of what? Idumea. All right, the current Idumea is America. All right, that's the Idumea. All right.
Verse 11, the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it, the owl also, and the raven shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness.
All right, give me that in Revelations 18. All right, and you can go to, I believe, Isaiah the 13th chapter when it said when it talks about the animals. All right. Give me Isaiah 13 and 21 verse.
Isaiah 13
and 19. Go 19.
Isaiah 13 and 19. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yep, go ahead.
It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
That your connection right there. It connects all over, all right? It may connect with Idumea and Edom. It may connect with Babylon and Edom. It may connect with never being inhabited. But you put all those pieces together, and you could just rewrite the whole with all those verses. You could rewrite it, put it together, and rewrite and make one verse out of it. All right, Edom Edom and its land shall be destroyed, and never shall be inhabited again. All right, go ahead.
It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there.
Then it said in Isaiah that it shall never be inhabited from generation to generation. Go ahead.
Neither shall.
But Salakia, but it didn't say Edom. It didn't say Babylon in Isaiah. It said Idumea. All right. So there's your connection right there. Go ahead.
Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satire shall dance there.
So color doesn't matter. That's bullshit. That whole color doesn't matter because it's talking about a nation of people shall be destroyed. All right, and it's going their land is going to be destroyed to the point that nobody's going to inhabit it, and you're going to have all kind of wild desert creatures in that land. All right, go ahead. Revelations. You got more to that?
A little bit. And the wild beasts of the isles shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places, in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged.
Okay, go ahead.
Revelation 18, verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighted with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
There you go. So it's not talking about demons and things like that. It's talking about animals, scorpions, rattlesnakes, vultures, desert creatures. All right? That's what it's talking about. There you go. And that's Revelation. The destruction of when the Lord comes back to destroy and to save someone, it's talking about the destruction of Esau. It's talking about the destruction of Edom and his land. Because based on them three areas of scriptures, you can make that connection and just pull all that information and bring it right into Revelations 18, and you'll have your answer. All right? Go ahead. Back in Isaiah. That's why it says line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, and there a little. All right? Go ahead.
Isaiah 34:12. They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there, and all her princes shall be nothing. And thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow, and the screech owl also shall rest there, and find for her, and find for herself a place of rest.
Yeah, it's just talking about all the doleful creatures, all the, rattlesnakes, owls. I believe it's a screech owl, like basically them owls that, this hoot all day. You know what I'm saying? Vultures, all type of animals of that sort. Go ahead.
There shall the great owl make her nest, and lay and hatch, and gather under her shadow. There shall the vulture also be gathered, every one with her mate. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord, and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate.
Yeah, the scriptures don't contradict itself. It's clearly talking about animals. All right? But the none shall want her mate is talking about the Bible, all right? Not dealing with all these other books. Because this Bible just gave you prophecies. These other Bibles, these other books, doctrines, they don't give you prophecies unless they're referring to the Bible. All right? So that's why none shall want her mate. The Lord is warning you, basically, don't get into all that shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as believing into it, you can gather information to cut somebody with, but don't believe into all that bullshit, because the Bible is a source of information when it comes to prophecies. All right? It just told you about America being destroyed. Don't get into them other books, because them other books telling you that everybody else is going to make it a this and that, or don't get into them other doctrines. All right? You stick with being an Israelite. That's it. All right? Go ahead.
For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. And he hath cast a lot for them, and his hand hath divided it unto them by line. They shall possess it forever, from generation to generation shall they dwell therein.
All right, that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, and that's at the end of the day what the kingdom of Israel is going to come up. All right? You shall possess it forever and ever. All right? All right, we're not going to go into that. We won't get into the destruction of America. All right? So let's get, we're going to get into Revelation 18. We're going to move on from there. Unless you got something. If you got something.
I was Joel too, which kind of like the war and everything.
All right, well, let's get into that.